In our last video we showed you how to use the Add Panels buttons in the Quick Design Cabinet toolbar. In this video I'd like to show you how to use some of the more advanced command buttons. The buttons 8 and 9 apply a library structure and delete the structure. Allow us to manage Quick Design Panel Structures libraries. Note that these buttons are greyed out until we select a panel. Quick Design Panel Structures can enable us to do a lot of things in Polyboard. For instance, we have structures to make solid wood frame doors, face frames, tables, add hardware like handles, hanging rails, and a lot of other things. As an example, let's use the Quick Design Cabinets toolbar to add a hanging rail to our cabinet. I'm going to add a hanging rail to this left section of my cabinet. First I'm going to select the volume and add a shelf. I'm going to add the shelf at a specific distance from the top. I'm going to put 100mm from the top of my cabinet, and I'm going to choose a hanging rail shelf. When I click OK, the shelf is green, so it is selected. I can now see that the button Apply a Library Structure is now active. If I click it, I will access the Panel Structures libraries. I'm going to scroll down the list of different structures that are in the libraries and choose hanging rail. Click the apply button and we can see that Polyboard has changed that shelf into a hanging rail. And if I look in my cutting lists, the hanging rail will actually appear here in the cutting list with its correct length. If I look in 3D, I can see our hanging rail. I'll go back into 2D and the hanging rail is selected. I can see now that the delete structure button is activated. If I click delete structure, the hanging rail is changed back into a shelf. Imagine that I want to add a different structure to my shelf now. Go back into my structures library, and here we have a hanging rail with coat hangers. Let's apply a hanging rail with coat hangers. In the 2D view we do not see any difference, but if I go into my 3D view, we can see now that Polyboard has actually added the coat hangers to the hanging rail. The 10th button in the Quick Design Cabinets toolbar is the Multi-Slope Top button. This is a shortcut to the multi-slope top command that can enable you to quickly break the top of your cabinet into several panels with different slope. If I click the button, it opens up the multi-slope top dialog box, and I can add points to the top, breaking it into two panels, and moving that point to another position will create a multi-slope top. The next button is the unboxing command. The unboxing command will enable me to negotiate a corner of my cabinet around, for instance, a pipe or a technical column. If I click the unboxing command, I choose the main panel. So for instance, if I want an unboxing on the left side at the back, I can give the dimensions, so 200, and let's put here 150, and Polyboard will automatically create the recess in the back of our cabinet and all the necessary panels to go around pipe or a column. The next command button in the Quick Design Cabinet toolbar is the Free Shape button. Clicking this button will open the Shape Edit section in the Properties menu over here. Now if I click Edit, I can actually change the shape of my cabinet by dragging corner points to a new position. Note however that I can only change the position of the points, but I cannot add extra points as I could when I am creating free shape cabinet from scratch. When I click OK, Polyboard will update the new cabinet and all the different panels. The next button is the Fittings Links list. This button will open up a list of all the different fittings, that is hardware elements, linking two panels together in our project. For the moment, our project doesn't have a lot of hardware in it since we've been using a quick design style. Let's apply the hardware automatically by using, in the Quick Design Methods toolbar, a Fittings Links method. I'm going to click on the Fittings Links button, choose a hardware style and apply it to my cabinet. Now when I click the Fittings Links list button, we can see all the different hardware that's been applied to our different panels. If I click the hardware for the door, I can see the hinges of the door in the preview window on the right, and I can now change the position and the characteristics of this hardware directly from the Fittings Links list. The last button in our Quick Design Cabinet toolbar is the Nil Panels Toggle. This is a button that will toggle on and off the display of Nil panels in your project. For the time being, we do not have any Nil panels in our project. Let's put a few Nil panels. I'm going to click this volume, click Shelf and Nil Shelf. Let's put 2 Nil shelves here. If I move my mouse, I can see that these shelves, which are virtual shelves called Nil shelves, have divided the volume up into 3 different zones, but the shelves do not show as they are only virtual. If I need to see where they are, I can use the Nil Panels toggle. If I click it, the Nil panels are now displayed so that I can actually see them. If I click it again, the Nil panels will disappear from the display, but of course they still would be there. Well, that is a quick overview of the Quick Design Cabinets toolbar.